Well, the museum's been around since the 50s in Prince George in some form or another. Our facility as the Exploration Place opened in 2001, and we were a rebranding of the Fraser Fort George Regional Museum, which had opened in 1981 here in the park. It worked really well as a traditional museum coming up through the 70s and 80s, and then as you got into the 90s, people's interest had changed, the demographic in Prince George had shifted, and there was a real move towards discovery learning in science centers and in museums in general.
Well, we have 6 galleries. 5 are permanent galleries, and the 6th gallery is quite large. It's a new one we've created so that we can bring in larger traveling exhibits. The reality is this collection is legally owned by the museum, but at the same time, it's really the community's collection, and they've helped to build it. We work on it all the time and try and coordinate different parts of it so that you can find the connections between all the different stories, because a full story on a certain subject may actually take parts from a whole bunch of different collections or donations to the museum. And then you start to get these big picture stories, especially about, say, the lumber industry. That's probably parts of 1,000 different donations to the museum.
We have the Children's Gallery, which is very interactive. Lots of toys for kids of all ages. As soon as the children can start to move around and shuffle around, there's things to see and do and play with interaction with their parents as well. And by themselves as they grow older, there's a slide, there's a dig pit to experience dinosaur bones, and even around us there's the dinosaurs and fossils that you see here. In the dig pit, there's a whole bunch of plastic dinosaur bones that are buried underneath sand, so children can get in with their hands and brushes and brush off the bones, like to be little amateur paleontologists.
We have some really cool animal ambassadors here that live in the biome, and some of those critters stay in their areas because they're not really kid-friendly, but other ones like Cream, our corn snake, who've been around people their entire lives. We bring them out and we use them as ambassadors to teach people about the things that make that critter interesting and important and part of an ecosystem, and also the things that people can do in their own lives to sort of promote biodiversity. A lot of kids are really excited and interested and really think it's really neat, and sometimes they're a little bit more cautious. The littler ones can sometimes be a little bit more cautious, but once they realize that the animal is not a threat to them, then they're always excited and interested and very curious.
When you're here with your family, you're doing something that's fun, but it's also educational. So we always have said that we trick you into learning something while you're busy having fun. There's something here for everyone.